Hello everybody and welcome back to another qualifying session here. Today we are back in Monaco for the second time ever. Of course the first time was back in season 1 when an absolute mad race happened. We saw Harry rage into Giovinazzi. We saw many things happen and it was just absolute carnage, but hopefully it won't be a result. Hopefully it'll be different this time, but who knows. As you can see, both McLarens coming out here. I still can't speak. Nothing has changed since the last Monaco I see. But yes, both McLarens coming out here. We also have Carl coming out now. We also have, do we have anybody else? None. None of the Ferraris, neither Harry either. So I'm sure they'll be out very soon. But yes, both McLarens are out now. And seeing, hopefully, if they can potentially set a good few laps. But we shall have to wait and see, I guess. I think Jamie's in front, however. Yes, he is. So it'll be very interesting to see what our drivers can do today. Hopefully they can pull off some madness and actually survive the streets of Monaco. But who knows? We shall have to wait and see, I guess. Yes, it should be very interesting to see. Is anybody else out currently? Yes, Preston is out now. That is one Ferrari out. And speaking of the other Ferrari, Callum has just come out as well. Nicely done. The only one who hasn't come out yet is Harry, who is apparently a Haas. No, there comes Harry in the other Red Bull, of course, coming out now with AI storming past him. So we shall potentially see what he can make here. But of course, with time lapse starting, Jamie will be the first one to start a time lap here. So let's see what the McLaren driver can pull off here. It will be very interesting, of course. Last time we were here, it was unrealistic, and Preston and Callum were in Williams, and now they're in Ferraris, and it's unequal. So it's going to be very interesting to see what they can pull out their socks today. But here we go with Jamie now on his time lapse, storming up the straight. Nicely done. Round the bend very nicely, trying not to touch the wall, and spin straight away into the wall. That is damage to his wing straight off the bat on his first time lap. Very unlucky there, but Jamie now can't physically turn one bit, and of course the streets of Monaco is very tight, so you have to get perfection in your turning if you're even going to get anything out of it. Very unlucky here for Jamie, to be fair. Ritvic's just gone into the pits. I'm not sure why, potentially some wing damage or something, I'm not sure. People have started their time lapse here. Let's go on with Callum now. Down the straight very nicely, round the bend here, nicely taken, not too slow, not too quick. Now round this bend here, it does have a proper name. I can't remember what it's called. Leave it down in comments below for me, please. As I say all the time, it's great when you get hiccups when you're commentating, ain't it? But here we go, Callum speeding through the tunnel, nicely kept with that gear 7, using it to his full advantage, round these corners nicely there, not corner cutting too much, and nicely done there. Now round the streets here, Preston taking it in a 1:14.360, the exact same time as the Haas driver of Mick Schumacher. But unfortunately Preston finished after Mick, so he's gone P8 and Mick's gone P7. But now Callum on the last straight here, using every last bit of speed he can, potentially his ERS as well, and he goes P9 with a 1:14.891, just about 5/10 of a second slower than his teammate there. Very unlucky there for Callum, but who knows. And speaking of taking P1 here, Carl has taken P1 with a 1:13.198. Brilliant work by Carl, I must say. There's the pit crew. It took a while for them to get out. Carl had to wait for a second. Don't know what went wrong there. Probably a miscommunication. But no, as we go down to find somebody else here, here we have Preston storming through the bends here. Nicely took there onto the the last big bend here. Round, taking it nicely, and into the pits he goes. Nicely done there by the Ferrari driver. Very interesting indeed to see what he can maybe get out when he comes back out, if he does. Who knows? Has anybody else set time? Callum has DNF'd with a P9 and a time of 1:14.891. At least he set a time. That's the main thing. But very unlucky there by Callum, I must say. Who's not... who's out right now? Harry is currently out right now. On his outlap, of course. I think he pitted again or something. I'm not too sure. But yes, he is currently out, looking to start his time lap. Can he though? Who knows? Jamie has come back out, of course, with his repaired wing here, looking to do some damage to potentially Carl's lead. Can he though? It'd be very interesting to find out, of course. But who knows? We shall have to wait and see, I guess. But now Harry is about to start his time lap here on the mediums, of course, so looking to conserve his tyres quite a bit. So who knows, round the corner now, nicely done. And on to his starting time lap here. And now we start it. Go taking this bend nicely, well done there. Onto the straight here, using the full pace of the Honda engine, of course. And using potentially the ERS as well. I'll definitely have to pull up that information in a minute. Now around that bend very nicely, keeping the speed throughout, but not in too much. V hits the wall. Around that bend nicely. Now onto one of the main bends. Through that nicely, not too much speed, so he takes that very nicely. Round there, just a bit up the curb, but that won't affect his time too much, I'm sure. Now onto the straight again, through the tunnel very nicely. Again, using all that pace he can out that nice Honda, of course, Red Bull engine. Now round the corners there, nicely took, almost hits the wall, but just missed it. In fact, round this bend here nicely, very well done to Harry. Round those bends there. Now round this corner, nicely done there by Harry. On to the bend here. Can he take this nicely? Yes, he does. Now onto the main straight here. And looking to get whatever seconds he can out, because every mini second counts. And it will, with a 112.671. That is officially 1 second quicker than his teammate Carl right there. Well done to Harry to get that P1 spot, with 10 minutes and 40 seconds left of qualifying here. Brilliant work by the Red Bull driver, I must say. But now we go back down to, I think we're going to go down to... who we're going to go down to? I think it's going to have to be Jamie here, who's going into pit. Ritvik seems to be getting close to finishing his outlap as well. We're going to just come on to him here. Nicely took round those corners there, a bit slower than usual, but of course on his outlap, so it doesn't matter too much. Harry beats his time once again and makes it a 112.237. That is basically just dead on a second quicker than Carl. I know I said a second quicker before, but it wasn't actually a second. It was like 0.4 of a second, maybe something like that. So it's close. But now Harry's basically just near off. 1 second quicker than his teammate Carl. So what an amazing drive there by Harry, I must say. Now here we go, Ritvik on his time lapse, storming up the straight. Nicely done round that bend. Slips a little bit, but manages to keep it. Now round those bends very nicely onto the short straight here, and going into the low gears to take this big bend here. Now onto the even giant bend round there nicely. Preston takes P1 with 112.077. That's 0.2 of a second quicker than Harry. What is going on here? Amazing job by Preston, I must say. Wow. Amazing. A few words now from Callum. Of course, apparently he was going on a straight and then just died in the wall. Apparently he lagged or something, he's not too sure. Yeah, I don't think we're going to get any more info on Callum, unfortunately. But no matter, because his teammate now, Preston, is going around the final bend here. Now basically, here we go onto the final straight here, using DRS and DRS to his full advantage. Actually, he's deployed his use of ERS, and he crosses the line with and keeps his time with a 112.077. And something I didn't notice before because, you know, had a minor distraction. Harry has stormed that P1 position with a 111.944. Brilliant work here by Harry, I must say, to get that position. It'll be a very interesting race to see. I must say, who knows what? I mean, last year, of course, as said Preston, unrealistic. In a Williams, it was I quote him here. He said it was like a bus round Monaco. So, yeah, and equal performance Ferrari is going to be very interesting against an equal performance Red Bull. So basically, just Harry versus Preston here. So it's going to be very interesting to see what happens here. But Carl now, with that P3 position, now storming up the straight onto the massive bend here. Now going around the final bend here onto the main straight, using the DRS. No ERS being used though. And he crosses line with a 112.978. Brilliant work by Carl. I believe Jamie took that P3 position for a second. But Carl snuck it back. I might have seen it wrong, who knows. But actually, I don't think it did. I'm not sure. Who knows? But yes, here we go with Jamie now. Going round that bend nicely through the tunnel here. Using all the pace he can get out of that car. Now down, hits the wall slightly, but I don't think that's any damage to his wing at all. Round the bends, cut. Well, I mean, you can't really cut that corner, can you? Goes over that thing, curb. I'm stuttering, Pete. Stuff I forget, you know. But yes, anyway, Jamie through the straight now onto the massive bend now, going around it very nicely, getting potentially that ERS onto the main straight now. His ERS bare bones, but he's still using whatever he can, and keeps his time of 13.157. Hits the wall once again. I believe that was damage to the wing there, but yes, that is massive damage to a wing, in fact. I believe it's due to the earlier incident, but I'm not sure. Harry has well, of course, message did pop up about a few minutes ago, but Harry has left the session here. I'm not sure why. I think he's you know, calmly in that P1 position. I'm not too sure. Hello everybody and welcome back to what is the most difficult track in F1 history. That is right, it is the Monaco Grand Prix, and we are back and hopefully in for a much better race than last year after Harry's rage moment and straight DNF into Giovinazzi. But we won't mention that, will we, Harry? I know you're watching that. But here we are, of course, back in Monaco with one DRS zone, one speed trap, so there's not going to be much speed today and a lot of difficult corners to take. Maybe a lot of DNFs, who knows? We'll just have to wait and see what happens today. But a very difficult track to drive, a very difficult, just a very difficult, maybe race we're gonna have. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see what happens today. But why wait around? Let's get straight into the formation lap, shall we? And let's see what happens. Hello everybody and welcome to another race day here. Here we are with a formation lap in Monaco here. Of course the home of Charles Leclerc here, who is unfortunately not racing this season due to Preston and Callum taking his spot in the Ferraris. But yes, it's going to be hopefully a very interesting race here today. Who knows? I do apologise about the qualifying. It kind of just disconnected all but one of us. And unfortunately, all but one of us wasn't me. It was actually Ritvik who didn't get disconnected. So I don't know what happened. But who knows? I know that, of course, as you can see here, with Harry in P1, Preston in P2, Cole in P3, Jamie in P4, and then all the way down at the bottom of the grid, Ritvik in P18. And Callum in P17. So it's going to be a very interesting race here today, to say the least. Who knows, maybe we'll see Callum and Ritvik having an ultimate battle. Who knows? I've still got the hiccups, so nothing's really changed here, people. But yes, who knows? I mean, of course, this track is as I said last season, is a very tough track to drive. It's, of course, complete corners and complete chaos. It's one of the worst and hardest tracks you can drive in F1, except, of course, for Daniel Ricciardo, who actually storms this track. But obviously, Monaco, I believe 2016 didn't go so well, did it? But we won't talk about that. Yes, who knows? The grid is now being reformed here. Everyone is getting ready for a 39 laps of the Monaco Street Grand Prix. Is it going to be an interesting one? Who knows? But what a race we are hopefully in for, and I just can't wait to see it. But as I probably just said about a few minutes ago on this vid, why wait around any longer? Because here we are, lights are on and lights out, and away we go. And here we are, away we are with the Monaco Grand Prix, and Preston has taken P1 right off the Storm. Preston storms straight up and takes that P1 position, but I'm sure Harry is not having that whatsoever. Jamie drops down to a nice P5, so it doesn't drop down too far. However, Callum has gained, I believe, one position from P16. Ritvick has dropped down majorly to P20. Very unlucky start for Ritvick, but I'm sure he'll be looking to get back up. Who knows? Hopefully so. But we shall see, I guess. But yes, Harry will definitely be looking for that position back. But now you've also got Carl behind him, his teammate. What will Carl look to do? Will he try and help out his teammate, or will he try and potentially, overtake Harry? I guess we'll have to wait and see, of course. And also, can Jamie in the McLaren potentially get the overtake on Lewis Hamilton here? I bet he would love to do it. But can he do it? I'm sure we'll be finding out very soon in the race. Who knows? Callum now dropping down, unfortunately, to a P17 here. And at the same time, Ritvick gets the spot, overtakes the Alpine of Esteban Ocon. But that might not be lasting for much longer, as Ocon looks to be looking to take that position back. Then there's Preston, second fastest lap of the race with 121.668. What a great lap by Preston to start off the Monaco Grand Prix. But here we go with Esteban Ocon now, looking for the overtake on Ritvick. Can Ritvick defend the Alpine off? And no, there has been a major wing damage on Ritvick's part. He has slammed it against the wall. Very unlucky start to lap 2 for Ritvick here. He's going to have to look to pit. But obviously he's going to have to probably concede his position. Whether he will or not is another question, because as we all probably know, Ritvick can be a little bit stubborn when it comes to getting back position. So who knows? But if we go back up to the top now, Preston still owns that lead in that P1 position. This is mega for the championship. Preston has been very unlucky. As of recently, not to be getting the wins of last season. Of course, in Jeddah, he was especially unlucky getting that 3-second time penalty, which costed the Red Bulls to effectively strategize just to stay behind him. And Harry got that win. Preston sets another fastest lap of the race with 116.058, and DRS is enabled here, and this is where it's about to get real interesting, people. Jamie, unfortunately, has dropped down to a P8 here, but I'm sure he'll be looking to build back up, essentially look for the Alpine of Fernando Alonso. Can he essentially get past? It'll be very interesting to see. Callum still in that P17 position. I'm sure he'll be looking to get back up to where he started, of course, P16, and hopefully higher, but we shall wait and see, of course. Ritvick in the pits here, just coming up with his new wing. He's going to be looking to potentially catch up. Can he do that in time, though? It's going to be very, very interesting to see, of course. But now Preston sort of getting away, voice break, sort of getting away from Harry here. But can he stay away, especially with that DRS? As soon as they get onto the main straight, it's going to be very interesting. That DRS is coming up any minute now. We're about to enter the DRS zone here, and here we are with DRS now. Will Harry get it in time to get that overtake? He looks to be, and he has the DRS. Harry says the first lap of the race just after Preston did it, but no, Harry did it better with a 117.749. Brilliant work there by Harry, I must say. Now looking for the overtake on Preston. Can he do it? He is definitely attacking him quite a bit. He could potentially do it, who knows. Jamie, however, now in the pits, I believe due to a broken wing. Yes, that is a broken wing, in fact. Now going on to mediums. A very unlucky start here for the McLarens and the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel here. They will all be looking to hopefully get back up, but can they, though? That's the question everyone's wondering. It will definitely take some guile to do it, but who knows. But that does mean, I mean, actually, if we look somewhere else in the middle of the field, you have to see the Ferrari of Callum is up to P12 here, potentially looking for that P11 spot, which has Giovinazzi's name on it. But can Callum cement his name on the P11 spot, or will Giovinazzi still can't talk, successfully defend Callum off? It'll be very interesting to see, to say the least. But who knows now, potentially catching up. He does have a 1.5 second gap between him and Giovinazzi. He does need to close. Can he close in time? However, if we go back up to the top here, Harry is gaining on Preston. He really wants Preston. He is not letting up for anything. Potentially, can he get it? I mean, Monaco is very, very difficult for overtakes. I'm even surprised that Preston got the overtake on the first lap. But it was a very good overtake, to be fair. Caught Harry right off guard. Could he get this overtake? It's all or nothing here, really, for Harry. Only having one win this season, and that was Jeddah. Will the same thing happen here again? Potentially Preston getting a time penalty for something and Harry stealing it, or will Preston successfully drive and defend off Harry? I mean, who knows? We'll have to obviously wait and see as the race goes on. But I'm sure it's going to be a very interesting race, to say the least. Now Callum with a 2.4 second gap between him and Giovinazzi. Definitely falling behind here quite a bit between him and Giovinazzi. It's probably those corners though. Hits the wall there. Very unlucky there by Callum, I must say. Is that any wing to the damage? Any wing to the damage. I just said that. Any damage to wing? It doesn't look like it at all. The wing looks fully intact, and Callum is currently being hunted by his old team, of course, the Williams of Nicholas Latifi here. Can he successfully defend off his old team? It's going to be very interesting. Or will it show and prove the point that Callum should never have moved to Ferrari and should have stayed with the Williams? It will be very interesting, to say the least, for sure. Who knows though? Who knows at all? But now, Jamie with a 13-second gap between him and Esteban Ocon. He's definitely going to have to work on that time. But can he? We have seen Jamie come back from major gaps in the past. So it's not out of the question, I don't think. It can definitely happen. But we'll have to wait and see. Of course, Ritvic with that 6.3-second gap between him and Sebastian Vettel. Can he close that gap and get the overtake on Vettel and make a P19, P18 McLaren here? Who knows? It'll be very interesting, to say the least. I bet you never thought you'd ever hear someone say make a P19, P18, P19. But here we are, being history makers, I'll tell you, in the wrong ways, unfortunately. Preston now having to pit. I believe that's damage to his wing. Is it? Yes, it is. I do believe. Yeah, that is damage to his wing, man. He's getting his wing changed, and he's now back out. P8 here, P9. Will Lance Stroll get ahead of him? Yes, he does. P10 here. Giovinazzi as well. P11. And potentially Callum here. No, Callum cannot catch up in time, unfortunately. And Preston storms out with that P11 spot. Now trying to keep the P11 spot, and he does. Callum, unfortunately, cannot overtake Preston there, but was that strategy letting Preston out the pits? Potentially, who knows? But due to the pits, that means Harry now up to P1, Carl in P2. This is very similar. How many times have we seen this out? I do believe we've seen it about maybe 4 times before, maybe 5, I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure it's 4 times before. Could this be the 5th time Red Bull get that P1 and P2? It's going to be very interesting to see. Can they hold out all race? That's also going to be a very interesting thing, but who knows? Indeed, it's just going to be a matter of time and everything, isn't it? Now Preston with a 5-second gap between him and the Alfa Romeo of Antonio Giovinazzi. Giovinazzi seems to be the topic of everyone's targets today, actually mainly the Ferraris. But who knows, can Preston do what Callum couldn't in overtaking Giovinazzi? It'll be very interesting to see if he can. I'm sure we'll be finding out very soon later on in the race. It almost hits the wall, but just nicely dodges it there. So well done to the 2 Ferraris to be fair. But they are 1 step. 3-second time penalty for Ritvic here. I do not know why. Is he corner cut or something? Like, you can't really corner. I mean, he's hitting walls and stuff. It's a very unlucky drive so far for Ritvic. We are now on lap 8 to be fair. So are we approaching pit stops? It's going to be a very interesting one to see for sure. But now Jamie with a 9-second gap between him and Esteban Ocon. He is closing that gap. It was a 13-second gap before, and now it's a 8.8-second gap. Sorry, between him and the Alpine. So can he catch up in time? Who knows? I'm sure we'll be finding out again later on in the race. Now Preston looks to be closing the gap on the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi. He's definitely doing it. It was 5 seconds a minute ago, and now it's 3.7 seconds. 3.8 seconds in fact. He is definitely closing that gap, but can he close it enough? With only 30 laps left to go of this race. Yes, people, I can actually count for once. It's amazing, ain't it? But yes, it'd be very interesting to see whether Preston and Callum can both fight back up top. I mean, Callum losing a lot of time on Preston now, to be fair. Potentially Callum taking it a bit more cautious than Preston. Who knows? I mean, Preston was the one who had to pit, so it's very interesting to see what happens. Jamie now, however, pitting. Actually, it's a new wing change again. This is not a good start by McLaren, I must say. Jamie now onto the hard tyres. Started on softs, went on to mediums, and now on the hard tyres. What is going on for McLaren today? I really do not know. I guess we'll have to wait and see what happens later on in the race, won't we? But now, the Red Bulls absolutely storming it away from the other teams here. Harry taking a nice Sunday drive, really. On to lap 10 here. Cole in P2 also taking a nice Sunday drive. Keep creating that gap between him and Lewis Hamilton here. Can he keep that gap? Who knows? It'll be very interesting to say the least, that's for sure. But who else is potentially... No one else is looking for rotates. However, due to a pit, Fernando Alonso has pitted now, as I just said. And due to that, well, he's actually just come out. Due to that, Preston has now gone up to the P10 spot. Back into the points for the Ferrari driver here. Nice work by Preston. I mean, it didn't take much effort, but anyway, nice work by Preston to get back up into the points here. Now can he climb higher and get more points? That, I'm sure, is the question, and I can't wait to see if he does it or not. But I'm sure it'll be the question everyone is asking here, for sure. But if we go back up to the top here, we have the 2 Red Bulls diving round the corners, speeding, trying to create that gap as much as they can. But Lewis actually closing the gap between him and Cole here. I'm not sure what's going on here with the Red Bulls, but that gap is definitely closing at an alarming rate. So it is very interesting here, to say the least, and it's always good when you hiccup and yawn in a when you're commentating, ain't it, people? Really brilliant. I tell you, it's like the curse. I say every video, but it's the curse of commentating, I swear. Stuff happens to you, voice break, stuff happens to you when you start commentating, and, you know, who knows when it will stop. But we carry on, I guess, on lap 11, of course, of the Monaco Grand Prix. Is anyone nearing an overtake here? It does look to be Preston nearing the overtake on the Alfa Romeo of Giovinazzi. We've talked about Giovinazzi a lot, of getting past Giovinazzi, but can Preston finally prove a point and get past Giovinazzi? It'll be very interesting to see. However, that is actually Jamie, unfortunately, behind Preston there. And where's Ritvik? Ritvik is quite separated from the cars, to be fair. However, Red Bulls do look to be catching up, to be fair. So very interesting indeed. Carl now pitting, in fact. So he'll be dropping down a few places. That's a P4. Now, potentially P5. No, doesn't look to be. They are too far away to get the overtake on Carl there. So coming out at P4. Actually, no, it's going to be a P5 due to Lance Stroll and a P6 due to Giovinazzi. And I believe McLaren of Jamie almost got in front, but Carl just kind of stopped him from unlapping himself there. Nice work by Carl, I guess, to get out, and unlucky by Jamie not to unlap himself here. So who knows? But now potentially can Carl look for the overtake on. Jamie just pushed, I believe, I was about to say Paris, Carl into the wall there. I wonder what Jamie was thinking, potentially looking for an overtake and couldn't get it or something. I'm not sure really. Is that damage to his wing now? I wouldn't be surprised if it is, to be fair. Is it damage to his wing? I don't think it is. No, it's not damage to his wing. Jamie's wing is completely fine, thankfully, because we do not want to see that wing get any more damage, for definite, that's for sure. Unfortunately, Ritvik is having to pit again due to more wing damage. That's like the 4th wing change we've had now, or close to that. For Ritvik, I mean, what is going on with McLaren? They're getting ever so unlucky here. I really do not know what is going on here, but hopefully they can come back. It's just a matter of time, I guess, really, ain't it? But now Harry, due to the pits, dropping down to a P8 here. Preston now down to a P18. I believe he's just come out of the pits as well. Callum now also in P9, looking potentially for the overtake on Harry if he can close that 7.2 second gap. Can he close it in time? Who knows? I guess we'll have to wait and see, won't we? But it'd be very interesting to see, to say the least, of course. But now Harry trying to look for the overtake on the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda. Can he potentially get the overtake on Tsunoda here? It'll definitely be interesting, to say the least. I'm sure we'll be right back with him very soon, I'm sure, to see that overtake. But now, Preston also closing in on an overtake here, on the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel here, of course, because here comes Sebastian Vettel down the straight, pouring it down, trying to defend off Preston, but he couldn't, not for 1 second, and Preston stormed straight past him without a challenge, without a threat. And Preston easy swoops past him. Nice work by the Ferrari driver there. But now trying his best to go around these corners very nicely. Around this corner here, actually bend here. Nicely taken by a Preston on those mediums, of course. After his pit change, now across the finish line onto lap 15 for the Ferrari driver. No, that's onto lap 14. Sorry, my correction. It gets confusing. Now back up to the top. Actually, we don't want to go to the top because that's Kimi Räikkönen. We want to go to P4 because Carl is potentially still looking for the overtake on Giovinazzi. Why is it always Giovinazzi, people? I do not know. But it is once again Antonio Giovinazzi here. Of course, I believe he's like, what is he now? An IndyCar driver or something. He's like Grosjean now, isn't he? Potentially, whilst he's still in F1 on this game, can Carl pull off the greatest overtake of all? probably not the greatest, but an overtake at the very least, and get past the unmovable Antonio Giovinazzi here. I'm sure we'll be finding out very, very, very soon. I've just realised we've not had details on this whole race. What have I been doing? There you go, you've got the details up now. Definitely be able to use this more now. So we shall see what happens here. But now, Carl's still looking for the overtake, trying and getting closer and closer here. And another man is getting closer and closer is Harry. Why am I yawning so much? It's annoying, I tell you. But now, Harry tries the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. Tried to go on the inside, but couldn't, unfortunately. Will he try again now? Going around that bend nicely onto the straight. Now through the tunnel. Still trying to catch up to Yuki Tsunoda because Monaco, like I said before, it's that very tough track where you can barely ever get an overtake. But that does not stop Harry because he gets past Yuki Tsunoda here. Well done to the Red Bull driver on getting past Tsunoda, of course, the sister team of Red Bull, the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda. And whilst we say that, Callum also gets past him. Yuki's actually dropping quite far back now. Wing damage actually looks like. Potentially Harry might have pushed him against the wall or something, and it might cause Yuki some damage here, I'm not sure. But now he's down to P13. I'm sure others will potentially get past him, who knows. Definitely be interested to see now. But Preston, due to some due to some blocking by Tsunoda, up to P13 here. Callum in the pits dropped down to P16. Even without the bus known as the Williams in Monaco. Ferrari not doing too good here in Monaco, but not really in the point section. I mean, yes, they do still have a little bit of time, potentially about 23 laps left to go, I believe, if I'm correct on that. Correct me if I'm not, obviously, but I'm pretty sure it's like 23 laps left to go. So it's still a chance for the Ferraris to get back up there. But can they? 5-second penalty for a severe collision with Hamilton here. There has been a major blocking. I believe, I'm not sure who that's down to be fair. I'm not sure what is going on here. Is that Hamilton blocking? That's actually Callum stuck in the blocking there. Very unlucky by Callum there. He has lost a few, actually one position. And he's lost it to Yuki Tsunoda. Very unlucky. Lance Stroll DNFs there. And Carl is now up to P2. Has Jamie in his sights, I think. And Jamie gets blue flagged, unfortunately. And allows Carl pass. Now Carl has one target and one target alone, and that is the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Räikkönen, the Iceman himself, of course. Can he potentially catch up and get that overtake and get his, what is 6th win of the season so far? Should we actually check the history books? And yes, people, we have history books, alright. So, no, his 5th win, sorry. It would be his 5th win of the season, because he's won at Melbourne, Spain, Canada and Silverstone. So of course that's 5 wins in total for the Red Bulls, with Harry taking Jeddah. But can Carl look for his 5th win on his own feet, and the 6th win on his team's feet? Who knows? It'd be very interesting to say the least, I'm sure. No, he's storming away completely here. Harry in P5 now. What great work by Harry to get back up, I must say. Brilliant work, in fact. Now looking for the Mercedes. Of course, the old team of Ritvic and Jamie, but no more, as Valtteri Bottas has come back and reunited with Toto Wolff and Lewis Hamilton to bring back the glory days of Mercedes. But will that stop Harry from getting past him? I do wonder. It will be the question we're all wondering and asking. Who knows? I can't wait to see this battle commence. So Mick Schumacher now DNFs as well. That is 2 drivers who have DNF. Yuki Tsunoda sets the fast lap for 1:15.293. I'm pretty sure it was Tsunoda who won last year due to Harry raging and DNFing as the last driver to DNF. Yes, Yuki, I believe, won. Correct me if I'm wrong, as I should probably know my own league. But, yes. Can he do it again? Who knows? He probably not, as he's down in P13. But again, who knows? Harry now storming up though, getting rid of whatever time he has on Valtteri Bottas and catching up with a faster lap of the race over 1:15.134. Those hards coming finally into action, getting warm enough to storm away here and actually bring out the pace that is required for Harry to catch up. But is those hards late enough? Too late to catch up to the rest of the guys. It is a wonder, really, especially with Carl having that 13-second gap on Kimi Raikkonen. It will be very interesting to say the least, I'm sure. But I'm just going to have a quick drink here just to freshen myself up. We are back, and Callum has set a fastest time of the lap with a 1:14.340. Great work by the Ferrari driver there, I must say. But now Harry absolutely storming away, absolutely bringing down the gap between him and the Mercedes. Can he close it down enough or not? Who wonders? I mean, Carl back into pits now. Going onto the mediums with 19 laps left to go. Is that a wise decision? I mean, everyone probably is wondering that right now, but will we see something special? Who knows? It is that question, isn't it? Carl now dropping down to a P6 position here, due to Fernando Alonso overtaking, but no one else, especially not the Williams of Latifi and George Russell, on unfortunately close enough to him to get the overtake. So Carl makes it out nicely again in that P6 position. Now down to the bottom of the pack here, Jamie with a 3-minute difference, 3-minute gap between him and Ritvic, when Ritvic has a 1-minute gap between him and Lewis Hamilton. What has gone wrong with the McLarens today? They've received damage with their wings constantly. They've been blue flagged. It's all gone wrong for McLarens today, but it's been very unlucky as well. Ritvic not allowing Ritvic 5-second penalty for ignoring the blue flag. I was about to say that, ignoring and not letting, I believe, the Alfa Romeo of was that Giovinazzi in front of him. Yes, it is, because you have 2 Mercedes. Why is there 2 Mercedes? There shouldn't even be 2 Mercedes. I think that's actually Lewis Hamilton, but that would mean Lewis has also been blue flagged. I don't know. Whoa! Ritvic tries to get the overtake on Lewis Hamilton, but couldn't, and slammed straight into him there, although Lewis hasn't been overlapped. So that doesn't make sense, but I don't know, who knows. Jamie now is still quite far away. I don't know what's going to happen here, but now Harry gaining on Valtteri Bottas here. Of course, Harry back into P3 here, potentially looking for his overtake. Can he potentially get it on a Mercedes driver? Do what Carl couldn't and get this overtake. Can he? Storming up straight to him now. And Preston has DNF'd here. Very unfortunate once again for the second season in a row here at the Monaco Grand Prix. Preston has DNF'd. One of our first drivers to DNF here. And I wouldn't be surprised. There we go. Ritvic retires from the session there. I'm not sure. I think, yeah, that's a DNF as well. Ritvic has DNF'd. That's the second driver to go. Safety car now. This is an utter game changer. Both Red Bulls in store for what could be a great battle here. Who knows? Callum in P11 here. He could gain a few places here. Who knows? It'll be very interesting to see, to say the least. But we shall see. I apologise if you heard that attack on my mic. That was very accidental there. But is the chat saying anything? was one of the AIs. Apparently, Ritvik got put in the wall because one of the AIs went straight into the back of him. Very unlucky there for Ritvik, I must say. Apparently, Preston lagged. And of course, he's very annoyed for safety car pops out as soon as as soon as he lags out. So very unlucky there for Preston, must say. But however, due to pit stops, I believe, and due to, I don't know how he's done it, but Harry is back up in that P1 spot. That meant that he had to overtake both Kimi Räikkönen and Valtteri Bottas. But I don't know how that makes sense, but who knows, it doesn't matter because Harry is back up to that P1 spot. Now the only one to get up to P2 if they want to complete that P1 and P2 once again is Carl to get straight back up to that P2 spot. Can he get up in time mode? It would definitely be very interesting to see, to say the least. But he has a lot of work to do after this safety car, but who knows. Of course, that is Fernando Alonso ahead of him, and Alonso has been difficult to get past, so it'll be very interesting to see. Both McLarens have gone out now, with Jamie being the second and the third one of our drivers to go out now. That leaves only 3 drivers left. Now that is strange because last time we were here there was only 5 drivers after our 6th driver that season had left 2 races in. We won't disclose why, but yes, it was very unfortunate. But now we're back with 6. We're back in Monaco, and Preston has left the session. I don't blame him, to be fair. But now here we go, Callum trying his best to catch up to the safety car, but he does have quite a gap, I must say. The one at a disadvantage I do think is the Haas of Nikita Mazepin, or Mazepin as we like to call him. Very unfortunate. Could Callum catch up in time to the safety car? All the safety car going, he will probably catch up, as the safety car still needs about 2 more laps left to go until it'll go in. But who knows? It'll be very interesting to see, to say the least, that's for sure. But now back up the top here, I'm wondering, will Carl be able to get up to that P2 spot or not? It will be very interesting to see, to say the least. There's a lot of stuff going on the chat right now. It's very well, I can't really disclose. Yeah, it's, well, I won't disclose anything on that chat because I can't really, but yeah, who knows. Lap 24 on the safety car now. We are potentially probably going in for another lap with safety car, and then it'll go in. Who knows? I mean, there's a lot of opportunities for our 3 drivers left here. It'll be very interesting to see. But we have 15 laps left to go here. So either we're going to have 14 laps or 13 laps left of racing. It really rather depends on when the safety car does go in. But now Callum has caught back up. Nicely done by the Ferrari driver to catch back up. He'll be looking to get back up the grid here. Can he get back up in time mode and score those points? It'll be very interesting, to say the least. But now if we go up to Harry here, leading the pack with a safety car, he'll be dying to get this race back underway and potentially take this win if he can hold it. And safety car is in this lap, so we will have 14 laps of racing. Very interesting. Many more laps of overtaking potentially if our drivers can even successfully get past. Now Harry holding up the pack. We're on those hard tyres. Of course, that's going to be a disadvantage in itself because I believe the Mercedes are actually on mediums here. But those Mercedes are AIs and not our drivers no more. So, Who knows, but this does look quite familiar for Red Bull and Mercedes out the top. But here we are now, green flag. We are back underway on lap 25, 14 laps left to go of the Monaco Street Grand Prix. And here we are, Harry straight down now. Blue, I believe Lewis is getting blue flagged, and that's going to send this time down quite a lot here. But now, potentially, Carl looking for some overtakes. Can he get past? Now trying to get past Lewis, and he does due to that blue flag rule. Nice work there. Can he potentially catch up to the Alpine of Fernando Alonso here? It is very, very possible. Do not rule Carl out, that's for sure. Using his ERs where possible, where it's needed, of course. Now catching up to Fernando Alonso here, and potentially on this corner. Can he do it now? Tries to turn in, but unfortunately cannot get past him. But I'm sure that will not deter Carl here. But whilst we're on about that, Callum has managed to make up 3 positions and get up to that P10 spot. Brilliant work by Callum there, I must say. I wonder, will he be able to get up a few more positions to secure those points for Ferrari in the constructors after Preston, unfortunately, I think bugged out, lagged out and DNF'd, but I'm not too sure really. Lap 26 now, so we're getting ever so closer to the end with 13 laps left to go here. Do not underestimate our drivers. They are possible. Just as Carl was done, he's up to that P4 position now. Well done by Carl. He now has some work to do to catch up to the Alfa Romeo of Kimi Raikkonen. But that is very possible. He can do it. And I'm sure he will do it if he can catch up in time. Now in P4 position with a 0.9 second. No, that's a 0.9 second gap now. Any DRS coming into this potentially? I don't think so. No, not this time round. It looks like through the tunnel very nicely there, trying still his best to catch up. And trying his best to Callum with a 4.3 second gap now. I mean, he's P10. He will take at least 1 point home. But who knows? It'll be very interesting to see. We shall have to wait and see what Callum can do though in the Ferrari, trying his best to catch up to the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda. It seems to be the same people we're talking about, isn't it? DRS is now enabled. That was very shivering at me earlier when I was talking about Carl, because there was no DRS, but now there is, and he is on the tail of not just one Kimi Raikkonen, but 2 Valtteri Bottas. So he has a potential of 2 overtakes here and to get into that P2 spot. But can he in time? It'll be very interesting, and it'll be very, very crucial for Red Bull in the constructors to extend their massive lead in it. Can they catch up in time? It's looking very likely. So Carl absolutely on Kimi Raikkonen's tail here. He is seeing this opportunity, but can he take it? He really does want it, using the ERs when he needs to, and not absolutely wasting it. He knows he can't waste it. He knows he can't do that with this race, because he has a 2 overtake opportunity, so he cannot waste that ERS at all, and has to use it very strategically. Now going down the straight here, round that little bend there, nicely done there. Through this double bend here, nicely done. And still on Kimi Raikkonen's tail here, potentially get the DRS, and he will get the DRS this time round. And the ER, using his ERS also to his full advantage. The only one not getting DRS is the Mercedes of Valtteri Bottas, and that won't matter though, because Carl unfortunately cannot get past. Whilst if we go down here with a 1.21 second gap now, well, not just a 1 second gap now, it keeps changing. I can't keep up. Anyway, in the P10 spot, Callum is trying his best to catch up to the AlphaTauri of Yuki Tsunoda here. Can he catch up in time though? That is the question. I'm sure you're all wondering, and it'd be nice to see whether he can or not. That's for sure. But now we go back up to the top here. Carl is still on Kimi Raikkonen's tail here. He is not letting up for anything. He wants that position, and he's saying to Raikkonen, you will give me that position, you will concede. But will Raikkonen concede and listen and follow orders? That is the question. It'll be very interesting to see, to say the least. And it's an opportunity for, I'm sure, Carl cannot pass on. He is gaining on him no matter what, using the DRS potentially now to his advantage as soon as that DRS is unlocked. But of course Kimi will also get that DRS as well, and the only one once again not getting that DRS is Valtteri Bottas. And no, it will not affect neither of them, and they all stay in the same position. Now with 10 laps left to go of the Monaco Street Grand Prix, he is gaining on him ever so fast. But again, Monaco is very tough for those overtakes. Can he gain on him in time? That's all that really is the question, to be fair. Now potentially going on the inside. No, he won't, unfortunately. Still trying to gain on Kimi Raikkonen here, trying his complete best, to be fair. All he can do, and I mean, P4 wouldn't be too bad, especially, Callum's in P9 now. Got the overtake on Yuki Tsunoda. Now after the Aston Martin of Sebastian Vettel here, can he gain on him in enough time though? That's going to be the question. Will that question be answered or not? Who knows? We have 10 laps left to go to answer that question. And it's down to driver skill, to be fair. I thought that was rain for a second, but it's not. So we're all good. But now, Carl's still with that gap between him and Kimi Raikkonen. But it's such a small gap. It's 0.3 gap now with the DRS. Not using the ERS, however. Kimi still not gaining on Bottas one bit. I do wonder what's going on here. Whether Bottas just is defending of Kimi well, or whether, I don't know, Kimi's just not pushing down the throttle to complete. I'm really not sure here, but Carl potentially still gaining on Raikkonen here. He's still within the chance here if he can gain on him. With 9 laps left to go, it is not out of the question. But does Carl truly want this overtaking off? I really do hope so, because I want to see this competition fly. I want to see what will happen if Carl goes to that overtake. Will damage occur? Will there be a massive crash? Will anything happen, or will Carl just slowly pass through him nicely and safely? It's a matter of what, when and how, really, isn't it? But that can only be answered when Carl goes to his overtake on Kimi Raikkonen, if he can catch up in enough time, and it always looks like he is, but unfortunately not this time around, I don't think. Still at the same amount of gap that he was before, still not being able to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen. Very unluckily, I'm running out of words here, and I'm running out of my voice as well, to be fair. Carl still trying his utter best to try and do it, to be fair. Can he get past Kimi Raikkonen here? It is all or nothing here. I tell you, it is not without a shadow of a doubt. And when I say it's raining, it's also raining outside on the real world. But we don't talk about the real world on here. No, we don't. We just talk about the F1 world. And still, Carl not being able to gain on Kimi Raikkonen, like Callum is not able to gain on Sebastian Vettel. We're actually at the same point we flicked away from him a few laps ago. What a coincidence is that? But it's the question that everyone is asking, to be fair. Can Callum get that overtake? Can Carl get the overtakes? Who knows? It's just a matter of, again, what, how and when, or when, what, how. It just depends how you really want to say it, to be fair. But Carl's still not being able to gain on Kimi Raikkonen here. I'm surprised Raikkonen is even keeping this gap. But even so, I mean, Carl with P4 and Harry in P1 will be still massive for the constructors, to say the least. It will still matter, no matter how you put it lightly. But now, lap 32 here, still running away with it, is Harry on that 8-second gap between him and Valtteri Bottas here. what a great drive by Harry, I must say, to create this gap. Got overtook at the start of the race by Preston and has fought back and got the position back. Of course, the safety car did help him slightly, but whether he would have got that position anyway or not is another question for another time, because here we are in the here and now, and Harry has got that P1 position on lap 32 out of 39. So he is definitely trying his utter best to keep this. Who knows though? It'd be very interesting to see, to say the least. Jamie, quick update. Jamie said his car was just not getting any grip whatsoever. He kept slipping and sliding all over the place and kept getting wing damage. But yes, it's going to be very interesting to say the least. Of course, next race we're in the French Grand Prix, so of course we know what happened last season. There was a mega battle between Harry and Preston, so it's all to play for next time. Will Harry do the same as last year and run away with the Grand Prix win, or will Preston fight back and take that win like from last year, or will we see a new contender take that win? That's going to be an interesting thing, isn't it? Carl's still not able to go for that overtake on Kimi Raikkonen. Then there's Callum in P8, still not able to go for the overtake on P8 Gasly. Very unfortunate, I must say. But now, going round the bends very nicely here. It's nicely done by Callum. Still not. I guess he actually did get the overtake on Sebastian Vettel, didn't he? He's in P8 now, looking for the overtake on P8 Gasly with a 0.5 second gap now, and on lap 33 of 39 with 6 laps left to go. It is all or nothing here, I must say, for this race. Oh my god, that was the biggest voice break ever. That's what happens when you're pushing your voice to the limits, people. Now, using that DRS range to DRS to try and get PA Gasly, but it's not close enough, unfortunately, to get the overtake. So it's going to be a very interesting race. I wonder if this will be finishing how it is, and it may not live that way, as Carl is absolutely rapidly gaining on Kimi Raikkonen, but we always say that, and yet he can never get that overtake. Will this time be different? I highly doubt it. Did I say highly enough? I really do not think so. But yellow flag here in sector 2. I'm not sure why. Potentially another blocking. That corner is full of blocking, really, ain't it? If you have a large converge of cars there, then you're going to get blocked somehow, aren't you? But we're going to go back up to the top here. Harry here, trying his best just to keep it nice and smooth, not crash out now for these last 4 laps now, because he's going on to lap 35 here of 39, and he is getting ever so close to his second Grand Prix win. But will he be able to keep this, or will he spin out? That's always the question, isn't it? But down at the in P7 now, Callum has managed to get the overtake on Pierre Gasly. Now, after once again, for the second time this race, Antonio Giovinazzi in the Alfa Romeo. Can he finally get past Giovinazzi? It's going to be a it's going to be a very interesting battle, to say the least. Callum, unfortunately, earlier was not able to get the overtake on Giovinazzi, but it's definitely an opportunity now for him to do it. Whether he can take that opportunity or not is another question, to be fair. But who knows? We shall wait and see. But now, Carl still trying his best to catch up to Kimi Raikkonen, but unfortunately he can't. But he is within 0.434 seconds. I did see that a minute ago. I think he came back for a second, but he is gaining on him ever so quickly. And sorry about that, slight just a quick text just to ask the guys we can have a break after this. Now Carl trying his best to gain on Kimi Raikkonen, and what he's been trying to do for the past few laps, but still not being able to, whilst Callum is still trying to gain on the undeniable, the undefeatable Antonio Giovinazzi in P6. Can he defeat the undefeatable driver? It's just a matter of when, how, and why. Can he do it within our 3 laps left to go? That is also the question, to be fair. Who knows? But it's going to be very interesting with 2 laps left to go here of the Monaco Grand Prix. We're actually nearing the end. I can't believe it after last season. Tragic ending. I actually can't believe we've made it this far, to be fair. And I actually believe that is actually rain, but the rain won't be, unfortunately, there long enough to actually make an impact and make our drivers go on to wets. So it's actually going to stay on to dries here. With 2 laps left to go here, what is going to happen here? That is the question we're all wondering. Will Carl be able to get that overtake? Will Callum be able to get the overtake? Callum probably not, as he's quite far away. Carl definitely not. He's been trying for ages and not been able to get it, so why is he going to get it now? Who knows? But a 10-second gap now between Valtteri Bottas and Harry. What a great drive again by Harry, I must say. Brilliant work by him. Again, got overtook earlier on in the race by pressing out the very start on the first turn. But he worked and he gained it back, I must say. And he is here. And he is here to stay. And we are approaching lap 38 now. Of course, we have one last lap after this. And then it is all over. But what will happen on the final 2 laps, I do wonder. Will Callum be able to catch up in time? Will Carl be able to do the unthinkable and get past the Iceman of Kimi Raikkonen? I doubt it for Carl, but it is a very much possibility for Callum. But with the time we have left, I really do not think so, to be fair. Now Harry making his way nicely around the track. Try not to slip out, try not to do anything too risky. With the time gap he has, he can take all the time he needs, to be fair. But now, going through the tunnel here, my voice is completely gone. Wow. Now Harry trying his best to go around these bends here. Nicely done, I must say, by Harry to keep this the entire race. But now, up the straight, round the bend, and we are about to go on to the final lap of the Monaco Grand Prix here. And that really hurt my throat, but we continue anyway. Now storming through the finish line onto the final lap here. And what is going to happen on the final lap? That's what everyone is asking. But I said that twice, didn't I? Yes, I did. But now we have 10.41. We have 10.3 second gap between Harry and Valtteri Bottas here. So a giant gap. So can we safely say, unless Harry slips out somehow, that this is Harry's win, really, and may I add, Harry's second win of the season, winning, of course, in Jeddah. I believe that's actually matching his record. Yes, it is. It is matching his record of season 1 with the 2 wins. Can he beat his record of wins in the season? Well, I'm sure we'll find that out very soon in the next coming races. But who knows? Who knows indeed? But now Harry storming up the straight now and coming round these final bends here. Nicely taken by Harry, I must say. Now on to the final bend here. Goes round it very nicely taking round and now round this final bend here onto the final straight, and here is your winner of the Monaco Grand Prix, the pole position in qualifying. Harry once again taking his second win of the season, matching his season wins record from season 1. Nicely worked by Harry, got overtaken in the first stretch of the race, but bounced back and got the win. And his partner, of course, Carl, getting that P4 position, and Callum swiftly coming in at P7 here, and the rest of them unfortunately DNFing. And that, people, is the end of your Monaco Grand Prix here. Thank you all for joining us here, and we'll be right back with you with the podium. But that is not before the driver days, and of course that goes to Callum. Well done to Callum for that. And here we are with your podium for the first time ever this season. Harry, not for the first time ever, but the second time ever. Sorry, I got completely confused with names. Harry takes his second win of the season. Nice podium, I must say. First time ever we've seen it, I think, with the Welsh driver. First time we've seen him in Monaco at podium here. But that's a Harry P1, Valtteri Bottas P2, and a Kimi Raikkonen P3, and a car P4. Can't forget about that.